Hello. Couldn't really find a place with great lighting, but because there's people all around the house. But I decided I'd do a review today. Today we're going to be looking at this knife right here. This is the Spyderco Native in black. If you hear some background noise, that's from my heater. I'm actually in my basement right now on a little table that we use to play mahjong. It's you probably heard of it, the Chinese tile game, but this is just a table we use for it. And so I'll just be showing you this knife today. You probably already heard of the Spyderco Native. It's one of Spyderco's most famous models, and for a good reason. This is just going to be a quick review, by the way. And the reason I'm reviewing this now is because I just sold this. I got this in a lot deal for about $70. I'm not really into the aesthetics of the knife, though you may be. But it was just part of a package deal, so I decided to pick it up with some other knives that I wanted for a great price. So I picked that up at that point. It's a very good Spidey, but I'm not really into the aesthetics of it. About just under 3-inch blade, just under 4-inch handle, I believe. CPM S30V steel, and Golden Colorado made. Handles are FRN. Now, this knife is a good everyday carry if you get, I think, a plain edge. The serration, if you can see the knife here, one big gripe I have about is the grind. The grind is very, very shallow, and while I understand what that adds to tip strength, that adds to the overall strength of the knife, I still feel like that such a shallow grind doesn't come to thin enough edge for you to cut easily with, and I think that's a big problem with the Native. This thing is dull as, I don't know, it's like just about as sharp as, I don't know, what is it just as sharp as? It's less sharp than any dull butter knife I've had. It's very dull right now, and I don't really want to mess with this, mostly because I don't really like sharpening serrations, and the problem is with these serrations, they're just so, I don't know, they're just kind of shallowly ground. So after this knife gets dull, I think you're going to have definite problems sharpening it and actually having it look good. However, if you get a plain edge, maybe with a satin blade, that'd be a great user. Very nice spear type blade shape. I like that about the knife. But when you're getting that, the grind's going to be the same, but with a plain edge, it'll be easier to A, reprofile, and B, sharpen, so you'll have an overall sharper knife. This is definitely an EDC knife, but it's very, very strong. I think it's just FRN scales. There may be metal in there, but it's a very light knife. I think it's just full FRN, but it's very solid despite FRN. I don't get any flex in the handles, and very little play, like no play, no up and down. I can always detect side-to-side play in a blade, no matter how tight you lock it up. So, but there's barely any side-to-side play. Ergonomics on this knife are very good. The Native is known for that. You can go for 2 grips, one back here and one back here, typical Spyderco choil style. The thing with this handle actually, is that the coil isn't actually the shape that it should be. You can see that I'm using a tenacious here as a pointer. There's a flat end here and a round edge here. So the issue with that is that it's not actually like a choil. It's not a round choil, but it's still comfortable. It just looks kind of like interrupted, I guess. One little thing I have about the handles is because they're so chunky. They're not really slimmed down toward the edge, and well, my tenacious may be just as thick. It's definitely thicker than the paramilitary, though. I just feel like the handles are pretty thick, and I don't know why I prefer. I don't know, I guess combined with the thickness of the FRN over here and the, sort of abrupt shape change, it's just kind of a little bit off for me. The jimping is very nice on this knife, just as good as any other Spyderco. I think it kind of looks ugly, though, the jimping as well. It's kind of out of place. Lock release is very easy. As I said, the lockup's very solid. And I love the David Boyd, and I love how Spyderco does their lockbacks. I'm not really a huge lockback fan, but if any company I have to have lockbacks from, it's definitely Spyderco. You can see the clip here is actually really long compared to the knife. It goes all like 3/4 of the way, 4/5 of the way down. This is compared to knives such as like the paramilitary, which only goes about 2/3 of the way down, or the Tenacious, which only goes about 2/3 of the way down itself. Even the Presidio here, the Benchmade Presidio, only goes halfway. So this clip's actually really long, and it won't carry all that deep, which is a complaint I guess I have. You can see here, there's definitely quite a bit of knife sticking out of your pocket. But the clip is long enough that you're probably not going to lose the knife. I don't really have a complaint, nor do I care how long the clip is. And one interesting design thing they did is they actually put you can see here they wrote Spyderco Native in the circle, kind of like they do with the Delica and the Endura. And basically they did that over the same portion, and this touches that. So basically it's easier to slip into your pocket. The texturing on the FRN is basically aesthetic. It's nothing like that on a Delica or Endura. It's not nearly as grippy. But the thing with this knife is, I mean, with nearly all Spyderco knives, is I don't really think you need a very tractable handle, because the knife just naturally fits into your hand so well. It form fits into your hand so well, so you know you're not gonna lose your grip on the knife. That's basically it. I just wanted to make a short review. I mean, obviously we're using CPM S30V here. This is one of the top steels. So you know you can't complain about that, especially for the price point of this knife. This one comes in at about $60. The normal native, if you can find it, probably around $50. And for S30V, that's already a great deal, especially Spyderco S30V. Sorry about that. The black blade coating is very nice, but it has come off with just opening and closing just a little bit near the pivot. But they did a very good job with this logo and the writing here. But you know, this coating will come off, but it's more durable than your cheapo knives. Some quick size comparisons. Here it is next to the Tenacious. You can see it's just a bit shorter. Next to the Benchmade 520 Presidio, which is a big folder, and the paramilitary. So you can see it's a pretty relatively small knife, about the size that I'd like for EDC. Actually, I forgot to mention this. One last thing, I promise. When you close the knife, the hole is kind of occluded by the FRN handle. This is a bad thing. Makes the hole smaller, basically. While it doesn't really affect it for me, if you're using this in an emergency, you need to like maybe cut somebody's seatbelt out. You may fumble your deployment, lose a couple seconds. I don't know, but you know, it just requires a tiny bit more thought. But no problem with that. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. That's my review, and see you guys later. More reviews coming up soon. Bye.